Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to the stream. I see we have Mr. Coffelino also being registered, which is pretty nice. Oops. Right. I always kind of wait for the track to load before launching the stream because I never trust it to launch, but I guess at some point I must start trusting. There we go. Yeah, game crashed. I should have not trusted it. And then probably me clicking on the secondary monitor during the launching does not help either. Hey, Jamie, yes, indeed, it should be some good fun. I don't think I ever drove the Peugeot, but I thought if I don't drive it today, I'm never gonna drive it because next week we are getting the DLC, yes, with the new Peugeot with the rear wing and the Lambo and Imola, and it's gonna be nice. So yeah, let's see. Probably it's a bit off pace, but it's made kind of for Le Mans. So I tested it in a straight line. It's competitive in a straight line, in top speed at least. So I hope it has some downforce and a good default setup. But I think Peugeot is the last one. Yeah, the last race will be the Peugeot Le Mans. But we are starting with GTE fixed at Le Mans. If the track loads, obviously. Alright. I hoped for some practice. I did half a lap offline before. With car setup, what do we have here? We have too much fuel. We're gonna get one lap, right? 7 minutes, I think it was 7 minutes quali. That's a single run. And should be fine with 16 liters. We will use a bit more pedal force, probably. But it's a Ferrari, so I cannot complain. Oh, it reset my... Wait, oh dear, oh dear. Wanted to have it a bit more forward, like that. And I must remember that Ferrari has earlier shift point. So I believe it's the first yellow light, either on the dash in the car or on my steering wheel. So let's just get some feeling of the car here, because quali is in 20 seconds. Okay, don't use that curb too much. Ah, the balance is good, even on cold tires. I think we will be moving brake bias to the rear a bit, but I hope I can manage to do this braking zone here for practice. I think both right side tires locked, so I don't know, I'll take 50-50 and whatever happens, happens. So 18 liters and I guess I can make use of all the pedal force. And 50-50 BB, and let's go. And these kind of sessions at Le Mans are always very exciting. Can never know whether I'm gonna be 3 seconds of pace or if it's gonna be easy pole. normally pretty good percentage of people cut the laps. Good evening, Marvin. Oh, this one has quali motor map. I guess I have way too much fuel anyway, so... but well, just keep it in race lane for the outlap. Yes, this is GTE fixed. And after this we have... what do we have after this? I think it's LMP2 fixed. What truck was it? I think it's Portimao LMP2 fixed. And after that we go to intermediate races and hope that there are some good sign-up numbers there. There we will have a wet Spa race and another Le Mans race where I'm taking the Peugeot. And they have shortened the intermediate events, so now I think it's pretty good change. It's 45 minutes for both beginner and intermediate. There is 15 minutes of wait. Before it was like 5 if you want to transfer from one to another, but it's wet Spa, which I'm gonna do first anyway, so that means that I'll be happy to do 10 minutes of practice driving. And it's open set, so might need to do a click or two. I don't really have a setup for that. Now the tires will be quite hot. Wait, what's 50 Celsius almost. A very hot track. And with these straights, tires just build up the heat while going straight. So maybe not a bad idea to slow down a little bit. But then again, we are not doing esports here, so it doesn't matter too much. Hi Kari, or is it Tsari? I wonder if this is realistic to have tires gaining temperature so much on the straights. Because back in the days in RF2, the tires had a problem where they just ballooned and overheated on the straights and they didn't know how to fix it or something, or didn't want to fix it. Anyway, we hit up the brakes a little bit. Let's put quali map and let's do one safe but fast lap. One tire complained, but I don't know if it was front or rear. This feels a lot better than the Porsche at Sebring that I did last week. But I think it's different setup, yeah. They have Le Mans specific setup, or maybe it's Le Mans and Monza. low downforce, and then for Sebring it's a different setup. That was pretty much spot on the brakes, for the braking point. But sector 1 is not purple, so somebody is faster. Or maybe the Ferrari is faster in other sectors. Hey Cahill, nice purple. Well, let's see if it's gonna be purple now. The scariest of the braking zones, and it is purple. Although that sector line is very strange because it's in the middle of the corner, so if you outbrake yourself, you're gonna get purple. But well, then S3 will be quite of pace. But I didn't outbrake myself, so looking good. And yeah, about new DLC, I am excited. The Imola should be really nice. We don't really have a good Imola in sim racing, I think. But I trust Studio 397 to produce state-of-art track. Well, Victor, it's the Imola that we have in RF2 now is quite wrong. Like the curbs and everything. Oh, that's understeering. Needed to hook the curb a little bit to help with the rotation, but not ideal. No cut, please. I did overfuel a lot. 2 purples, nice. 353. I don't really know what's a good lap time. Oh, Barclay, 44 milliseconds. Should have sent it a little bit more in the last chicanes. Anyway, it's Le Mans. 24-minute race. Let's quickly calculate the fuel. It's gonna be... oh, what is that? 240 seconds minus 7. 233. Let's take 7 laps. Figure out... fuel. Loading for so long. I don't have that many logs there. I don't know. Fuel was 6.2, let's say. Calculate with a bit more. Taking 45 should be safe. Yeah, I think also the scan, maybe the curbs have been changed in these 7 years. Maybe when F1 raced again at Imola, maybe they decreased those rumbles. Because in RF2 if you touch them you die, but in F1 they just take so much of them that they even get track limits. People still on the laps. Yeah, it's a long lap. And they should decrease the 7 minutes, like it's private session. They should just make it, I don't know, not 4 but maybe 5 minutes, so you have have 1 minute to exit the pits. And still time for slow-ish outlap. So we don't have to wait. But anyway. But yeah, looking forward to the new Peugeot and new Lamborghini, and especially on ×4 the player numbers. At least for another week.
Ladies and gentlemen, please start your engines.
Did I crash into the camera? Why is OBS opening here? Okay, I didn't move the camera. Need a little bit of glucose for my system. I should take mediums. It's so hot. Do you need to... Oh, I need to do the fuel again. Almost forgot. Oof. Yeah, the setup always resets when it's fixed. Nicolini straight into tire warming. Brake bias 50.5, let's say. I did calculate the fuel with Qualimix. Alright, thank you, Marvin. Let's have a nice fun race there. The last time I did a fixed race here, I think it was LMP2, and I of course got crashed in turn 1. Let's hope it doesn't happen today. Did I see a yellow flag? Like behind? I'm gonna take the cut. I need the tow. I hoped I would get good front grip, but I guess the tires are still a bit cold, so had to floor it. I went a bit deep, but Nico ahead is struggling as well with traction. Well, he's flashing, so I will flash back. Nice chicane. Just need to be within half a second and then see who actually has more pace. Thought I'm gonna outbrake myself, but it was kind of spot on. Yeah, hard to say about the draft, because the in-game gap is like just has 1 decimal, and on here it's not really time gap, it's like more distance gap, and I don't have a delta. Now we both understeering. But probably like outside of half a second, it's a couple of milliseconds gain. It always was a little bit too little, I think. And about the braking points, hard to say, I think it could be quite similar. Well, LMP2s should have more downforce and a bit more speed, so probably it should be possible to brake later with LMP2s. I was braver over the anti-cuts. But then LMP2s cannot take the curb so much, so it's kind of... you need to lose more speed and take a shallower line. I think I have slight pace advantage. What was that, a cut? I need to be careful there. I thought I was 4 wheels. No, I was not 4 wheels off. I thought the left side wheels were still on the tarmac. Yeah, Barclay is fast. He's fast, and his internet also is very, how to say, very fast to give him a disconnection. But let's hope it's a good race today without internet issues. Well, here we have quite powerful slipstream already. What? I went slightly wide as well. But here is a chance. And now I'm in the worst place. He will just slipstream by me. Nice side draft. How brave am I? Not enough. MD, I don't use quali mixture normally, but I just calculated the fuel level needed without thinking of it, but the calculation was done on the quali mix data. But for the long run, I mean for sprint races it doesn't really matter, but for the long run it's probably better to use race lean, because it requires significantly less fuel and produces minimally less power. If it's not changed, but I think it's the same as it has been in RF2 for years. I will need to time my overtake better. Ah yeah, Joao, 2 streamers going for the win. Finally no cut. But I lost a 10th. I don't know. It's still quite understeer in high speed, to be honest. Quite a safe setup, but would be, in my opinion, even safer if they added a little bit of front grip in high speed, so cars would turn instead of going straight. Yeah. Okay, at least the car eats the curbs. The LMP2 would probably want to spin when taking so much curb there. But all these mistakes, little mistakes, don't really mean anything at Le Mans, because on the next straight you gain back all the lost time anyway. Struggling with TC again, and it's not the cut. Like, I got a snap, but not because I have cut 1, because TC did not activate at all. Cannot go past 8, but I would need 10 or 11 or 12. Oh! That was a huge lockup. Ah, I can feel the rumbles. Oh dear. And that's already with brake bias 2% to the rear compared to stock setup. Well, time to get the time back. I didn't lose percentage on the front right at all, but I can feel a lot of vibrations. Again, like, TC does not activate. So yeah, clean driver, but that was not too clean from me. Almost rammed into him from the rear. And the weirdest thing is that I was not really hard on the brakes. At least I got purple S2 right. Oh yeah. What am I doing? The car is wider than expected. Ah, yeah, okay, what? 4 laps? 3 laps should be free to go. Actually 4, should be 4 to go. Half a second per lap is possible. Ah, cutting. Yeah, I think the TC is fine on the hypercars now. They could still increase the overall range of activation, like TC and slip, but the cut is perfect. and on other cars it's not really properly set up. But for sure the TC is made for the old tires, with those old tires in mind, because they could just handle much bigger slip ratios and wheel spins and so on. But on these tires you need quite a precise driving line and precise throttle and precise TC activation. Yes, Zain, I'm focusing. Not as much as I should probably, but I already gained 7/10 on this lap, so that's good. And I dropped the Ferrari behind. I need second gear. Yeah, ABS for sure is very good with these new tires. Just a superpower. Especially on some cars, like with the Cadillac hypercar, if I had ABS, that would be like decreasing braking distances by 20 meters. Nico is going off. But I think the ABS already like gives you 30 kilos of ballast or something, so should not be worth it for the fast drivers. Maybe for less experienced drivers it's worth it. And how much of newtons of torque my wheel has? Well, it's SimuCube 2 Pro, so it's max 25, but I use it with around 19, like 75%. I drove with 65% for some time, but I noticed that I'm already clipping or like using all the Newton meters, and that I would like just a little bit more, so I put it to 75. It's crazy that in Le Mans Virtual Series in Season 1 we had ABS low enabled because of all the real-life drivers not being able to handle the sim brakes or something. And it was quite a difficult experience for Season 2 when we had disabled ABS. We needed to work around in the setup a little bit, and it felt like we needed to brake so much earlier. But with hundreds of laps of practice, then suddenly we were becoming kind of same fast as we learned what exactly to do with the brake power, with the brake pedal. And also ABS kind of restricts a little bit of rotation. So for the hairpins it's like pattern 1, with ABS it was slower than without ABS. I kind of surfed on that curb. I think those curbs are smaller in real life. Here they are quite high, or at least visually they are quite high. I mean, it's laser scan, it should be exactly how it is. But the upcoming corner is a prime example of where ABS gains you the most, because it's kind of kinked. And the tarmac changes a little bit, and there is the curb, and Then you can use a bit of road beyond the white line, and any of these things can easily make you lock up. But with the ABS, yeah, you just smash the brake and can survive all the little stuff, all the little changes in the grip. I need to get into slipstream through this sector 3 and sector 1 now. Very good Ford chicanes. Oh, a LiDAR drone, yes. That's something. Would be so lovely, like, to have some roads that I have here in Slovenia. I'm cutting again. Want to be scanned and put into 3D model. Just takes so much time and knowledge. Don't be a cut. I was on the curb. Thank you. Oof, was a close to a cut. But while this is penultimate lap, I need to be within half a second this lap already, because then I need to have a strategy to overtake in the last lap. I think I'm using these curbs better than Nico ahead. He's flashing the headlights, of course. And he made me think of the headlights just before the braking zone. I mean, it's good tactics. Let me flash him back. And then I missed the apex a little bit. I don't know, the Porsche requires 47% bias. I'm afraid of doing that here. The god of GTs. Well, it's a fitting choice of words. Still 1 second away. I'm not super happy with that. Come on, 8 tenths. 2 purple sectors, nice. Let me use another cut. He's better at making memes, yes. Well, better than me. I am somehow so much faster over these curbs. But this is gonna be one last chance now. He messed it up. I'm too far to make a launch. But close enough to lose the aero performance and lock up. Four tenths. Just about too far. I had to make my best to scare him, but I scared myself. I didn't really know what to expect from the car, like... If this was 50k price pool for the leader, then I would probably have braked later and most likely smashed him, but maybe stopped in time. And I used up basically all of the penalty points available. Ah! Well, good job, Nico. Ah, that lockup killed me. And I thought 50-50 brake bias was a good choice, but like I had 50.5 even. But I would have to have 48. I don't know what they are doing with these brake biases. But very, very hard to find a good one within that half a lap of practice. And I messed it up. But it was close. I really thought I'm gonna smash his rear into Indianapolis hairpin in the last lap. Ah, just about avoided him. Well, on to the next one. Now, okay. Probably there was a bug or the UI didn't update yet. Wait, why are those... What? I'm confused. 20 point... Ah! I just about missed it. The sign up for this one. Well, then we'll be doing GT fixed. What? No. I'm so confused. I should be doing 20 GT fixed 2000 and then 2045. Yeah, like they scheduled it in a wrong way. Maybe because Le Mans in-lap is so long. Well, then we will be doing this one in 10 minutes. Dear Dan, where are you, Dan? I need to complain. Because this is not enough time to switch over. And it was supposed to be enough time. And then quali was so long and stretched. Okay, we have rain for the start of this race. Interesting. Yeah, I'll do this one. Wait, it's whole race. Ah, it's full rain at practice, rain in quali, and then just drizzle for the start of the race. And then probably during formation lap it already stops raining. That's gonna be an interesting one. Well, register, continue. Where are you? Peugeot. Are there some better liveries? Well, these ones are quite nice as well. I hope the Peugeot is fast. Well, it should be quite good with the rain. But let's see. Wait, what was the other race? Portimao LMP2 fixed. I was not really looking forward to that one. I have driven a lot of that in the past, so probably better to just do this. But again, I need to be cautious because this one is 45 minutes as well only, so when I cross the line, I just need to escape, quickly go to online again and re-register. Yeah, Charles, I'm looking forward to Imola as well. And Marvin, I mean, it kind of makes sense. It's a good kind of well, weather forecast. It's good fun. 3:24.9. Copy. Yeah, actually, I need to jump over. What is it? Oh, it's raining. It's wet. Okay. Need to jump for 3 or 4 minutes and then I'll be back. Until then, I will find... Oh, that's a very bright track. Dear OBS, stop doing this. Okay. Well, yeah, BRB. Alright, but yeah, I thought it's quite unfortunate actually, like the timing. Still, like, I mean, I actually rather do this than Portimao, but if it's so little time to jump over from beginner 1 to beginner 2, then the beginner races are just gonna be like, how to say, not dissolved, but like watered down, or like half of people will be in beginner 1 and half in beginner 2, and they will not be able to jump from one to another, or like we'll have to wait for extra 45 minutes to actually wait for the next race if they don't have silver DR or SR. So that has to be fixed. I'll message Dan later and ask him about it. I saw WEC race, like I saw some highlights, I didn't watch it live. I will not decrease the pedal force or increase it because it's wet. And well, please don't crash, thank you. I wanted to change this to 500. Nice puddle, quite a flood here. Fortunately, unfortunately it's only visual. In iRacing this was like pull the FFB, oops, bump the wall, pull the steering wheel with the FFB very hard. That's one thing that I really hope LMU gets implemented at some point. The railroad system is really good and versatile and everything can be made, but it's just not used enough. And this puddle here, like, if it's there, it would need to be quite a lot of aquaplaning. I don't always use 100% brake force. Basically, I just put brake force to a value that's kind of usable, even if it's only in the peak grip in quali into one corner, which is the smoothest and where the car can handle all the force. I will make it so that I can use it, but there is no sense to make pedal force so high that you can really never use it. Because then it's kind of prevention of lockups, because sometimes you will just like hit the brake 2% more, and if max that you can use is like 70% of your actual like pedal, then you will use 72% one time and it will lock up. But if you can use all the brake pedal, it will just stay at full input if you overdo it. You didn't get what I just said. You mean about the brake pressure? Oh, the brake bias is quite interesting. Need to go even forward a bit. Does it make sense that I set the wheel ratio on the hypercars manually? Yeah, I don't know, like I feel like on some cars I want slower steering than it's set on the cars, and I think in real life they can change that in the setup potentially. I mean, it's mostly geometry related, but I don't know. If I can make it slower so that I need to turn more to achieve the same turning, I like it to some extent. When I was exiting pit, I was thinking about the puddle and the aquaplaning. Like in iRacing, if you see a puddle, when you drive through it, it pulls the steering wheel like crazy, like you can really feel it, like in real life. It's really good. And you actually lose a lot of grip. Like it's proper aquaplaning. But here in RF2 it's just visual. And then I wonder what kind of sense does that make to have visual puddles that don't really do anything. And they don't, honestly, they don't really look that good or realistic, I don't know. To fix this slip angle, I just put it to max and a bit less power cut. Let's see if that's better. Can still lose the rear. And this puddle here as well. Well, probably I talked about this one on the previous lap already. Hey Dan, it's alright, I think. Oh, it says extremely wet, but it's very drivable. Dan, I missed the beginner race after the previous one, because there was not enough time to exit the server and register for the next one. I think the race has to be shortened by a lap, or quali has to be 5 minutes instead of 7, so people don't start their laps with 10 seconds to go, and then it's actually like 11 minutes quali. Yeah, as Hyper says. Yeah, that was beginner. Like I raced 2000 GT fixed, and when I wanted to register for the next one it was 2046. Yeah, probably it's Le Mans specific issue because it's such a long lap. Like I could maybe make it if I immediately escaped, but I didn't really wait for too long. Maybe I lost half a minute or maybe 1 minute by talking or thinking. I need to join the server, right? And yeah, about power cut, it's kind of more complicated because you can have max power cut, and if you have 0 slip and 0 TC, the max power cut will do nothing because the TC will never activate. Yeah, Dan, I thought like for outlap 5 minutes is sufficient, so those 2 minutes would be already good, but it's like 6, I think timer runs out quite soon after 6th lap is completed, so then it adds kind of 3 minutes additionally to the race time. So yeah, would not be too bad to just maybe decrease quali length to 6 minutes or even 5, and then race to 20 minutes instead of 24. And I guess it's same problem here, like after the race ends, I will have to quickly exit and jump into the next server. Yeah, several Peugeots, nice. And I think... Oh, that's so bright. Is that correct? I wonder if that has to do with my low graphic and reflection details. But I mean, if it's sunny and if there is spray, I'm on slicks. That's not a great tire. Overexposure bug. It feels like I don't have sunglasses on. And about the Peugeots, yeah, like I never drove it, especially not in the rain, but it should be good in the rain. So let's see. Oh, that's... I don't know how that looks in the stream, but you can kind of see the track. Ah, here it's 6 minutes for quali. A 30-minute race. I hope we are making it for the... Oh, quali is dry in the middle. No, it's never gonna get dry enough. Wets. Let's go. Yeah, outlap and hot lap. Yeah, I Brem. Very, very good consideration. Yes, extra incentive to be on pole. Right, let's do some setup work. Max TC A or B? I don't know, I probably should just detach it completely. Let's see how it handles. Oh, and this motor burns off the energy very fast. Not the energy, the battery. Yeah, the colors are fine now. But I guess as soon as the sun kind of shines a little bit, it becomes quite terrible. And hello, Oscary. Yes, it's... I wonder if it really only happens because of the spray. Yeah, that's quite well, kind of a running joke. Detaching the ARBs mid-driving, like throwing them out of the car. It should decrease the weight of the car, right? But then it should not be possible to reattach them. And about VR, I would love to test it one day, but somehow I never managed to. I had the chances, like in January at the Sim Expo in Maastricht, but there was just not enough time. Maybe I need a bit of rear ARB. It's kind of understeery. James Bond style, yeah, like opening the floor in the middle of the straight, pulling out some wires, taking a wrench at 300 plus kph and pulling it out, throwing it through the window into the opponent. I guess it's quite important to use a lot of motor map with the Peugeot because of four-wheel driven deploy. Anyway, here is the lap. Bit wide. If I'm at Sim Racing Expo this year, I don't really know. Have not planned that much in advance yet, to be honest. I should probably be using some more curbs and the track beyond the white line on the braking zone. I hope for a nice purple S2 now, without the lockup. No lockup and it's purple, beautiful. A bit too early in the brakes. There is quite some grip. Ah, you're going to Expo, nice. Yeah, I had to drive 11 hours with car across the whole Europe. But well, it was worth it because I had a competition there as well, where I won this exact steering wheel which I drive now. Early on the brakes, not to get a cut here. Although in the wet one can really cut the chicanes a lot and it will not detect anything. Alright, where am I? The first lap time. Ferrari squeaker. Wait, what was the fuel usage? 6.91. And it's gonna be drying, so how to calculate the amount of laps? Is it actually 30-minute race? I don't know, let's see. If it's a 30-minute race, then we are missing the next round. No, Hachemi, I think it's before 150. Oh no, it's 150 and the Ferrari and the Porsche use it from 190, so Peugeot can get some better traction into it. Hi Nico, yes. Well, here the calculator gets out quite often, but I'm just waiting if it's actually 30-minute race. I'm so confused by this. Like sometimes these times just make no sense. They're just like random. And then in 30 minutes the next intermediate race is already happening, so well, not that many people crashed, although these lap times here imply a spin.
Ladies and gentlemen, please start
So it is
your
30 minutes.
engine.
What's gonna be the lap time? Say 30, let's say 10 laps. And then 7, I don't know, 70 liters. How wet is it? 60%. Ah, this is wet. This has to be wet. Very wet. Yeah, this is wet. Slow down. Okay, I'm slowing down. Well, the system probably freaks out quite a bit if the leader does not start the race. But luckily he came back. I need to drain the battery a bit. The Ferrari has better traction despite later hybrid. No spinner through the inside, please. Thank you. And we have the tow. Now let's see the Peugeot top speed. Oh, I'm not really gaining super much. Suddenly I gained a lot there. Wonder if that's actually battery deploy thing difference. I think I rubbed a little bit of my color on his rear wheel arch. Like in 6th gear I gain a lot and then upshift to 7th and I lose a bit of performance. But in traction he has it more. Just rockets out of the corners. Let's see who is better in high speed. I mean, I kind of expect the Ferrari to now pull a second gap in the Porsche curves. The Peugeot handles really well there. Really good balance. Until I clip the curb. Yeah, probably the Ferrari has a lot more downforce, but we don't really need that much downforce in wet conditions. Oh, the Peugeot hates the curbs. Do you guys see like some purple color underneath the Ferrari sometimes? Oh, he has just so much more grip. Well, Nico, I always kind of like the idea of quite a unique car, so like that Nissan Delta wing or the Peugeot without the rear wing. But somehow those ideas are never fast. But the one with the rear wing, well, I don't know. Let's see. We have never had a Peugeot in the family, so maybe I'm not that attached to the idea. No raindrops, despite being... Oh, here are the raindrops. That's funny. Yeah, I need the wiper. But on the straights I don't need it. And then in the corners and in the braking zones, I do need it. Funny. Ah yeah, the front engine Nissan, that one as well. I don't have good memories of that because in VEC many years ago they didn't manage to BOP it properly, so it was LMP 0.5 or something. It was way too fast. That was the Jimmy Broadbent Long Boy Nissan, right? I think it was that one. Still remember a 6-hour Istanbul race. I was in the Porsche LMP 1. And that Nissan drove by me like a different class car. Meanwhile, this track here is drying up very fast. Ferrari is faster. Yeah, time to drop TC level. Quite a good idea. Although TC is very efficient, I wanted it activated a bit more, to be honest, out of that corner. So maybe I just leave it like this. Maybe do something with the RBs. Maybe it's slip angle to 9. The only way to catch that Ferrari is to be braver on the brakes, but LMU is not kind of a sim where you can be brave on the brakes. Because a lockup will happen. Maybe time to use a bit more ARBs already to avoid excessive roll. Thank you, Nico. Well, I'm trying. I see I have a purple S2, but it was with a little outbraking, so not sure how realistic that is. This car hates the curbs. I got myself a nice cut warning. Actually it went green, okay. So that's a legit line in the wet. Wet. That's still wet conditions. When it goes to damp, it's gonna be slicks, but too short race to change the compound. Well, the tire temps here, or I don't know where I have put them on the overlay, are quite high, to be honest. Not sure where exactly the wet should be, but I imagine like 60 to 70 Celsius. Yeah, 32, quite hot. Now the spray is disappearing in some places, so last 3 laps will be quite overheated. $70 to $85 for wets. I think it says somewhere in the setup, but I'm not sure. I think I'm shifting too late as well. Not sure. Ah, that's a cut. It's not a cut. Why is it not a cut? Again, there was something purple, like a neons underneath that Ferrari. Track limits don't exist when it's wet tires and damp track. If I repeat a mistake, I see quite big gaps to behind. I'm kind of closing in on this P1 Ferrari now. Too much curb. has costed me a lot. I wonder what the strategy is till the end of the race. Quite a lot of pushing on the tires, or just saving them and avoid any overheating. There's still some spray. No, it has just evaporated. Now there is some spray under the bridge. Funny. That was late. I thought that I would start locking the rears, because in the wet you always need to have rear, like brake bias more to the rear, but it has dried up and I'm still not locking. I don't know what to do. I thought it would be oversteering, but it's actually understeering more and more. And now the Ferrari's extra downforce will be more and more apparent. I feel like I'm just missing front wing. But that's probably the overheating. Yeah, well, changing the tires, but it's gonna take me 45 seconds. There is no way I take that back. Like we are probably 20 seconds off completely dry pace. But maybe I would be 10 to 15 seconds faster. For the 3 laps, which, yeah, I don't know. It could work. But wets are becoming quicker and quicker as well, so... And it still says slightly wet. Although that's probably not relevant, because it's slightly wet underneath some bridge. Yeah, this is it just turns off. I don't understand. Put sleep back to 11. Even more rear ARB. And Marvin, what do I say to Peugeot? Well, it's kind of as I expected. When it was wet, it's competitive, but it lacks some pace in most conditions, like in real life. Okay, yeah, now I have too much ARB. But if Tamas in P1 won't do any significant mistake, I don't really have a chance. Ah, I'm as well running full battery. Wait, did I lose the rear because I was running full battery? So much to think about. Yeah, now the rear is loose because the battery is full. So maybe it was not the ARB. How much it cost? 15. It just doesn't turn. Is it like your Peugeot your favorite car in the sim because of the handling, or like you like it how it is in real life? Dear TC, where are you? And if I put now max power cut, it's not gonna change anything. Because I think 5 and 6 is like cutting a lot when it activates. Sometimes it just doesn't activate, and I guess I keep repeating that every stream until it's fixed. But honestly, I really like the Peugeot balance in LMU. It feels quite good. In high speed, in low speed, in the braking, traction is like it's generally fine. It's just slightly off pace. Yeah, Oscar, I saw that purple lights as well, but I don't know exactly why. Lap target 0. I don't know. I have too much fuel. Way too much fuel. Actually, like, I'm talking about lack of pace, but... Wait, it's gonna be 2 more laps, right? Actually, I don't have that way too much. I'm gonna be maybe 5 liters too much. Yeah, that cannot explain such a pace deficit. And yeah, now the fronts here in these graphics are completely green, which means good for the dry tires, but for the wets, if it was calculated for wets it should be yellow or red. Probably. But some of that oversteer is for sure due to the ARB as well. But mid-corner, in the long corners, it's just so understeery. Yeah, the FFB and handling, yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed. And if it was on base, I would surely use it more. But I just generally avoid it because, well, it's slow. Yeah, let's see how the Lamborghini and the new Peugeot handle and how fast they are. Because of the current competitive cars, the Cadillac is so tricky. The Ferrari lacks a little bit of front rotation in low speed. The Porsche is generally just like very sluggish. The Toyota is kind of very nervous and tricky, but stable at the same time. So I hope the Lambo... Oh, the BMW. I have not really driven the BMW yet, like never properly done like a special event or VC or WC weekly on open setup. I should do that at some point. But maybe the Lambo and the new Peugeot will fill a gap for me. Wait, this is gonna be the last lap? I hope. We're still gonna miss the next intermediate event. This scheduling is so off, I don't know. Dear Dan, what have you done to the schedule? I think the leader will have option to slow down and not make the extra lap. He's going for it. Well then, let's do one more. Is P1 now it's already over? Or maybe he's underfueled? Or maybe he thought the finish line is later and slowed down, but then realized it's another lap. Yeah, the unsuspecting Ferrari. Let's see. Oh, there's a tire. Nice. Always good fun to see a tire in the middle of a 320 kph straight. Marvin, I did not see the pictures yet. Or I have not seen the pictures yet, to be correct grammarly. The Peugeot still has some funny thing with the front happening in the middle of low speed corners. If there is a bump or something like a curb, it just doesn't take it as well as some other cars. Well, I don't know if I'm closing in fast enough. Looks like he has enough fuel after all. Let's take the cut, because it's not gonna be a cut. But no, way too far anyway. Alright, well, if I wanted to do another intermediate race, I would need now to be 21:43, let's say, so 7 minutes too late. But well, it was PB lap in the end. But just lacked a little bit of something. But thank you guys. Well, I tried, but I for sure lost more than the gap to the leader in the end during the race, doing small mistakes. So the win was theoretically possible. Before I look at the results, I want to quickly check what actually the schedule is now. Because now I should be doing multi-class open at Spa. But that one is not soon. So we have either a choice. Wait, I could do 22:15 Algarve. There is some. Is there a rain? Wait, if it's gonna open prototype fixed now. No, it's sunny. I could do that, and then it should end in time for me to do another GT fixed at Le Mans, but 22:30, yeah, that's quite a long wait. Dan, why did you do that? The teething problems, but well, I have teething problems with my wanna be good professional streaming as well. Like the idea between, or the idea of having races every 45 minutes and like being scheduled in a way that like it's really good, as you can now like just go into the online system and the next race is max half an hour or less than half an hour away, and before it could be more. Yeah, I mean the idea is really good, just yeah, a little bit off timing wise at the moment. And yeah, again, the Le Mans doesn't help because now again we were like 5 minutes late or 7 minutes late, but it could easily have been one lap less, and then it would be only 2 minutes late or three. Okay, well, there is enough time for me to just quickly look at the results because I have not looked at them yet. Okay, at least I gained the R both times, which is nice. No, that's not the right one. It's still not there yet. The last race. Of course, here I gained because Barclay has more driver rating than I do. That's quite hilarious. 0 clean laps. Well, in then I don't think I had a clean lap in with the Peugeot either. But that's fine. No, I think it was recognized. Done advanced. To me advanced kind of doesn't exist yet, but wait, event history? Yeah, it's not there. It's not there yet. Anyway, well, let's have a look at advanced. How many times do what? Why am I here again? I clicked back, and I'm 4 clicks to get back to here. Anyway, advanced start in 19 minutes. Yeah, I don't know. One stint sprint at Monza. It would be really, really fun with all 3 classes. That's my favorite kind of racing. But there are just not enough signups here. It's gonna be one split of 6 cars. And here with 19 minutes to go, we already have multiple splits. Oh, online results ready. Okay. Gained SR, gained DR. +5. Oh, what? I don't. Yeah. In the GT race, it was not just cut detection. I actually got like a cut point deduction. But here, every lap, I had multiple cuts, but they were all green, so it's clean. I'm slowly gaining that DR back from those -60 that I got from a disconnection and from a bug and from an incident and so on. Yeah, like that one stint sprint, like that should be in beginner, like that should be the default, in my opinion. Like a short race with all the classes, that should be available to everyone. I know that it would be quite chaotic because people don't know how to drive multi-class, and they need to learn it. But that would be even more fun. Like when you expect, when the philosophy is that you just know that you have no idea what the car ahead of you will do, then it's safe again because you adapt to it and react. I will not be able to do Spa today But maybe I should do this one. Or should I wait a bit more? I don't know. Maybe I should wait 30 minutes for this. I kind of want to do another hypercar fixed, but maybe with a different car. Let me actually just do some... Yeah, okay, server is not open for that. I will do another this one, and for now I'll just go to Spa. Let me register, but maybe I take a different car. But probably it's a better idea if I take the Peugeot again, because now I know how to drive it, and I'm gonna be a lot faster with it. I'm gonna do this. Take the BMW. I mean, that's kind of a good idea as well, because I want to get more experience of it. Do we have some nice liveries? Only these three. Okay, well, let's take the BMW, because I've done only one lap with it, and I need to listen to the chat and do what the chat wants. So let's do that. Also, I like the idea of being a bit more competitive, and then seeing some kind of fast drivers registered. Maybe better to have that half a second of pace. But I'm just gonna go to Spa, and I'm gonna do some offline laps in these 30 minutes. And I will put... Wait, what car did I want to take? I think the idea was to take the Ferrari, actually. And I will put weather like this. iBram, I think it's hard to say because these default setups are really strange. I think some of the default setups are quite broken. Like, was it Ferrari or Porsche that was like quite a lot down on top speed, but when I did some clicks in the setup, suddenly it was very fast. But the Toyota should be good because it's like the Toyota is very good in corners. I don't want the AI. So I will just... Well, maybe I can do some setup for wet and see what happens if like detached ARBs actually do anything. Well, it will not be as fun as actually doing a race, but dear friend Dan has messed up the schedule, so we will drive offline for 20 minutes. It's alright. So what I would do for a wet setup? Actually, people have asked me about doing some setup streams, so I would immediately do... no worries, Dan. No worries. Well, I'm gonna leave the diff like it is, but for the wet, brake bias to the rear is very important. And with this car, it was already like 48 in the dry, so I think for the wet we just start with some crazy value. And then, of course, we try softest springs. Oh, this needs to be fixed as well, like right height, like this middle value should be here. This is the right height, this is not third spring. Why is this opening like this? And dampers, I hope they fixed them at some point, but they don't really work. what's the max? Maybe I would try it like that, and then a lot of rear wing, and then see how it goes. Is it even wet enough? It is. Ah, and another trick if you want to drive in the wet, Control X. Because the real road was dry at the start. And with Control X you can wetten it up. And now it's slightly wet, so the conditions where wets are already faster than slicks. And yeah, I can set wet real road in advance. That's a good point. And I really hope these raindrops are gonna be kind of fixed in the future. Or maybe the problem is that I run too little details. But they are kind of pixelated. You know what, wait, how much time do I have now? I don't have enough time. If I had enough time, or if I had too much time, I would put static and very, very wet. But now it's kind of dry-ish. And this is my first Ferrari Spa experience, I think, after the big tire update. I have to comment it. It's just so good. I'll just do a lap time and then look at the Motec to see if the soft springs are good. It's quite understeery, so I would assume that there is some negative rake going on. But I did put max rear wing, so let's see how it's for Blanchimon. That has to be negative rake. So actually, like, if I were to start preparing for some event with this Ferrari, I would just do a lap like this. I would click return to garage and I would open Motec and open the file and go straight to chassis and ride heights. And then what do we see? As I said, it's a lot of negative rake. The front is way too high. And I don't know where exactly the car starts bottoming, but hypercars bottom at 25 millimeters. So I would assume it's kind of same for the GTs. Is this changing anything? Presets? No. Okay. Wait, did it put default setup now? Anyway, I think I have honestly I would need a bit more time to fully explain what I wanted to show here. So I'll just go back to online and back to this. And I'll join the practice. I clicked the wrong server. But it's actually loading, okay. And I'll just do some fixed setup, very wet laps. Yeah, I did click the other monitor, so I'll stay optimistic because it could load and start responding again. And that's exactly what happened. Very, very nice. Nope, it didn't. Why is that bug splat tool not opening lately? It's not gonna open, right? It always open immediately. Oh well, I'm gonna submit the trace and the dump file later, I suppose. What have I missed? Yeah, I did this again. Sorry about the failed colors. I have this blue light filter and I always forget about it. I join practice and don't press anything. Don't disrupt the process of loading. I'm wondering if I should go for the slicks for the last 3 laps. But the thing is that we don't know if it's gonna be 3 laps, it could be a lap less. No, I think that pit stop will never work. Just need to be fast in quali. Oh, went back to 0%. That was scary. Wet. So we should have 20 minutes. And wait. How does this look if I put it a bit more further? For a bit better visibility. So in these 20 minutes I'll try to figure out what the ARBs do. But it's always very difficult to do that if the track conditions are not static. Well, that didn't go according to the plan. Bonk. Return to garage. I really think it needs full TC and full slip. And then 6 is fine for the cut. Wait, why are ARBs 4 and 2? Wait, is this some setup bug again? Oh, I'm sorry, brain is fried. It was the hottest day of the year, 35 Celsius outside. Basically, I just thought I had the Peugeot now, but it's the BMW. But I mean, the TC settings still apply. Just the ARBs don't. Actually, the FFB is very weak. So I will put it to 60. I can actually check it in Motec. Like for the Ferrari it felt a bit stronger, but where is it? FFB. Yeah, it's not really. So 100% would be around 90 Newton meters. So here it's not that much. But in the previous race, well, over some curbs, it went to 100. But mostly it's, I guess, 7 to 10 Newton meters sustained. Oh, come on. Why is OBS opening always on the main screen? I will figure it out eventually. Find myself shifting way too early sometimes for no apparent reason. So let's try to lock up the brakes. That didn't go like I intended it to go. I thought about just locking them up. Yeah, that's very damaged. Locking them up a little bit. But that was strange. Wait, let's check Motec. I thought that front right locked up. Let's see, wheel spin. Front right locked up. I hope this is well visible. Let's open OBS again. Yeah, it's visible. So basically on this graph we have just wheel rotation for each wheel, and blue is front right. And it locked up like intended. But the car oversteered. So, well, the rears did lock up just slightly compared to the front left, which didn't really lock up. That's strange. That maybe 10 or 20% of rear lockup causes way bigger effect than like almost complete lockup at the same time on the front. But I think, what was the brake bias? That's not really a channel in Motec, right? I think I had it like here, and I need to use a bit more bias then. But that has been my experience with LMU. when the front locks up, it doesn't necessarily feel like front locked up. It just all depends on the rear. If there is no rear lockup, then the front will behave normally, like it will lock and you will understeer. But if there is some rear lockup, then it's not great. It just overrides or something, I don't know. Quite confusing still. Forgot what the Peugeot was doing in the straight line. Ooh. Why no escape? In the dry, the hypercars here are doing 334 top speed. But looks like they lose 8 kph in the wet. And the brakes are really good on the BMW. It's also, I think, the only car which has had those front splitter aero upgrades. I remember the changelog. The FFB is still very light. I mean, it's always going to be lighter in the wet. But still. That's understeer. Peugeot was more balanced. I think if I just increase the FFB, I would fix some of the feeling issues. Because like I feel there is good detail in it, but just not strong enough. And maybe the ARB need a bit of decreasing. Why did this now change? Again, I'm locking front left, but I'm losing the rear. I'm so confused. during every corner I feel like I should increase the rear ARB until I reach the corner exit where I figure out that maybe I don't want to increase the ARB on the rear. But that's the standard slightly unbalanced car. Understeer on the entry, oversteer on the exit. I still prefer that compared to oversteer on the entry and understeer on the exit. Wow, I can brake so late. Just feels so soft when braking. Ah, in Le Mans, if okay. Yeah, I don't know what their conventions are, like how they name. Because it can be like ARB on certain number and then certain angle or position depending on how they adjust the ARBs. Now I don't know what to do with brake bias. Just feels so weird. Because now for sure I locked up the front a little bit and it actually like lost the grip on the front, not on the rear. I will put sleep to 11. It's kind of like the Toyota, to be honest. Like on the exit, when you drive Toyota, even in the dry, it will very quickly lose the traction. You just need to be so gentle and slow on the power. And this is kind of doing similar. Xesh, yes, I will do another Le Mans, just with different car. But same intermediate fixed. Yeah, the front is weird with this car. I don't quite know what to do with it, rather than just like know that it's gonna understeer a bit and drive around it. Like Cadillac and BMW are supposedly the same car in real life. I think they work together or something. So I don't know how the difference is between them in real life, but in LMU it drives a lot different. Yeah, I don't really have any more fuel. Six minutes and a bit until joining the server. It says windscreen wipers slow, but this is not slow. Now it's fast, but it's same speed. Nice bug. Okay, now it's good again. A 5 is max. I mean, yeah, same as with Cadillac. And for the Cadillac, I think I used 3 and 1 or 3 and 2. So that would imply that for the wet maybe it's fact. It would be 2-on-1 or so, but Cadillac is a lot more... What would be the word? Like it dives the front a lot more, so it has a lot more peak downforce on the front, and then requires a lot more ARB, or significantly more ARB to balance it out. Or springs or ride height or something to balance it. But here maybe I would have to actually put it to 1. The springs are... yeah, okay. I have never worked on the setup for this, so I'm not exactly sure. Maybe they are just named differently. But I mean, the cars are like... they look significantly different, so maybe the mounting points are a bit different, or I don't know. I don't know how those teams cooperate. Okay, that was a rear lockup. That's the first car where I have to move brake bias to the front. But it's gonna lock up, right? In Tournage I locked up. I guess I'll try 50.0 and just brake less if I have an issue. Another yellow Ferrari off track. Yeah, I wonder how many teams overall would be like willing to keep cooperating about the actual values, like the real physics data. So it's quite difficult to then put two cars that are kind of same on the paper into the game, and then you sell them as two different cars. So I guess studio is trying to make some difference, and I would hope that good part of the difference actually comes from real life data, but yeah. We know how the real life data is. Very hard to get. Server time. Yes. I almost forgot to check. Yeah, the practice was overrunning. Thank you, Dan. I was waiting for those 5 minutes to go, 3 minutes to go, 1 minute to go, but it didn't show up, or I was blind, maybe. Or I was just not looking at the correct part of the monitor. Yeah, the basis is the same. Yeah, like I heard it's just BMW, and then Cadillac puts a shell or like a forum over the chassis. Oh no, I clicked on the other monitor. Please don't crash. Ah, Hachemi, they showed up. So I must have been focusing on the wrong part of the monitor. But anyway. Practice is practice. So I had practice on the other server. So we have people on slicks. What's the conditions here? It's extremely wet. Okay. I mean, no use to click the setup now because it's gonna reset anyway in a couple of seconds. The Lara, I really don't know. Whatever I say, it's gonna be... It's not gonna be based on any good knowledge, so I rather check afterwards. Qualify 5 minutes. It was 6 before. Okay. Maybe Dan has already updated. Wrong clicks. So we have wets and let's go. Oh, that Viper. What is the Viper doing? That's the well, it is so slow that I don't really know the English word for it. Is it actually wiping anything? Dan, are you watching? I wonder if the animation of the Viper will reset when it goes on the other way. Nah, I don't have time for that. It's slow, fast, off. Slow, okay. Slow is fine. So DC, ARBs, I'm gonna put 1-1. Yeah, there was a nice sticky bug underneath the Viper, so it could not move. Ah, you red on the front diffuser. Wait, can I... I'm gonna crash. I'll check later if I remember. But yeah, thank you. The Peugeot was better to drive, like easier to drive. In these conditions, at least. But the brakes on this car are just crazy. So much grip. I mean, it's not brakes, it's just the suspension or something. Just it produces so much stopping power. Now that I had a straight exit, TC just blocked it completely. If I was a bit sideways, it's just the opposite of what it should be. I don't understand. If I went a bit sideways and broke the traction, it would deactivate the TC. I don't get it. Maybe it only works within some values or like some windows of slip angle and so on, and then if you go beyond it, it maybe just turns off. But then I was doing donuts and I could not do them properly despite huge rear wheel spin because the TC was kicking in a little bit. That's a lockup, so maybe brake bias to the rear anyway. So let's see how fast this is. Is it purple? No, it's green. Yeah, done. I can report, but oh no, somebody's scary of me in the server. Done, I can report, but I don't know what exactly to report. Like it could be just my brain not processing what's going on. I reported things in the past. And now the TC is for sure too aggressive. Funny how I never managed to do a purple sector 1, but sector 2 is always purple. Yes, Marvin, I agree with that. Quite a nice class. Although I hoped it, like, when I first heard the word hypercar, I saw it together with like that McLaren Senna GTR, and they said it's a hypercar and so on, and in RF2 it was like classed as a hypercar. And I kind of hope that the hypercars would actually look like more like real road cars. But they are basically just, I don't know, LMP1s with different regulations. Well, with much cheaper regulations. Or much more inviting regulations for all the manufacturers. I was way too cautious on the brakes there. And here the front gives me the understeer. So let's see. Somebody stole my purple. I'm slower than with the Peugeot, I think. Let me check. Well, I would agree with more power, but about lighter, well, yeah, would be nice. So if free. Hello, Jesper. Yes. Well, why are you not? I mean, I would ask why are you not in the server, but I know why are you not in the server. So I had.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You.
please start your
Yeah, with the Peugeot I
engine.
did 0.19. Now I did 0.3, but the Peugeot, I think the Peugeot lap was better. Oh, what was the fuel? Engine. 7.5. It's gonna be 7 laps. No. Wait, what? I think I had 75 liters with the Peugeot. I don't have time to recalculate. 17 seconds. 10, 11, 8, 7, 6... No, I don't have time. I'll take 80 liters and hope for the best. Probably have massively overfueled, but it's fine. Let's fix the ARP. Oops. No, that's lights. Hold speed. Okay. Almost messed up. Of course, he had to bonk me. Well, interesting way of driving there. He decided to go into the barrier, so yeah, I just have Peugeots ahead of me, so but I'm better on the brakes, like for sure I can outbrake them. And then when it becomes drier and drier, I will just have a lot more grip. So I think the choice is correct here. I really wonder what happened there into turn 1 and turn 3. I need to check the replay later. I think he messed up the switchback a bit. Something weird is going on with the sounds in high RPM. It's like they're braking up and down or something. Yeah, Jesper, I think that's the case, but the rain is just not heavy enough. I'm already gaining quite a bit. And again, I only get spray on the windshield in the corners and nothing on the straight. I don't know what I heard before with high RPM weird changes. Maybe it's just like the bumps going into Indianapolis King, because it's quite bumpy on the straight before. Maybe that's doing some weird things in combination with the audio engine. That's a lockup. Now the rears are struggling a little bit on the brakes. I guess the brake bias around here is just like spot on. 54.1. Oh, that was a very quick cut. I was surprised by that. I cut more with Peugeot once, and it was green cut. And it didn't even give me the chance to slow down on the straight. It should give a lot more time to slow down. Like this, I don't know, like if I was having to avoid a penalty now, I would slam on the brakes and people from behind would just get brake checked. But there would be not any other option for me to avoid if I was on the verge of being over the cut limit. They should increase that time to like 10 or 20 seconds or so to give up the time gained. Well, now the Peugeot in P1 has quite good pace, to be honest. No, yeah, I did approach it too sharply, but I did it even more sharply in the past. And especially in the rain. I mean, it was a cut, definitely. But then the question is why? Why sometimes one can just completely skip a chicane in the wet, even gain a little bit, or just like avoid losing time. And it's not even a cut. So I gained 3/10 or 4/10 in the braking zone, but he gains 2/10 again on the acceleration. But the BMW just has so much more aero. Well, about tires getting up to temp, it's difficult to judge it because like this graphics here is a bit, I don't know, it works for slicks, but it doesn't really work for dries. I mean, for wets. Because wets will never, like, they have a lot lower operating window, so. But well, these graphics, like the HUD or like the black box, like I think the tires are up to like optimal range now, and slowly starting to overheat. Acura is only IMSA. Yeah. Yeah, it would be nice to have IMSA DLC or something at some point. But well, there is iRacing. It kind of works with the IMSA. And then it's funny because iRacing does not have properly working hybrid, or like as it has to be in these cars. Ah, AMS2, of course, yeah. But well, AMS2 is not really, what should I say, not like adopted by general sim racing public. iRacing is kind of a standard. I'm so confused by that Peugeot ahead. Sometimes it just pulls some crazy gap in very small amount of corners, and then it just loses a second. It's trying to cool the tires, but the evaporation is just insane. There never is a drying line. And that's ever since R Factor 2 had like Real Road 2.0. Because before that the evaporation was not really a thing, and there was like a wet line and a dry line, a very narrow dry line always when it was drying up, and it was very tricky. But with the coming of Real Road 2.0, the evaporation from environment is always the quicker. So I don't know, that should not be, it's not really correct. And there should be like dry line emerging, and then slowly to have evaporation, even though it's 32 track temp. Yeah, surely the Peugeot will start struggling. And I think it's already struggling now. And the lack of downforce will be very apparent in the Porsche curves and in fast corners. And here. But because of how quickly it dries, just feels like an on-off switch for the Peugeot. At some point, it's just not fast anymore. It still has some downforce, it's not like a lower class car, but yeah. And that will make 2 invalid laps now, previous and this one, so safety rating will not be happy. Oh, don't give me the cuts, come on. Although the lap time is already invalid, so I can just keep cutting. Would be a nice strategy for him to cut those bollards and then to have them be stuck. No, I'm not gonna go for that apex and let him have the slipstream. But he has the really good apex, I mean exit speed. Eventually I will have a good chance. Well, I have Platinum 3 rating in SR anyway, so it's not really a huge deal. But would be quite something to be the first driver to ever like fully max out Platinum S3. Or yeah. Ah, he nailed that chicane. Yeah, indeed, Victor. I guess I'm not much better though. Well, he kind of pulled the gap now, 7/10, I don't know. I hope at some point he doesn't just realize he's actually 3 seconds faster and just disappears. But I guess on the overheating tires the Peugeot will still have an edge because of that 4-wheel drive at lower speeds. Ah, okay then. Copy. Yeah, I have not really done enough races. But I guess if you have like completely clean race 50 times and do enough of special events and WC weekly events, you can well, max it out within 50 races or even faster. Where are you going, Mr. Peugeot? Victor, I hope you're one of those many tens of thousands of people that are waiting for the game to go out of early access and will then buy it and play it every day a lot. That's not really a overtaking spot. He has no pace there. Just rockets off at some point. So funny to see that hybrid activating at low speed. But well, I have the tow now. I suppose the inside is still slightly wet. Or at least less rubbered in. VC on this game would be beautiful. With this vastly superior tire model compared to anything in RF2, it's just so difficult for RF2 now. Like, I kind of want to do VC this year, but I don't know if I can be bothered with slip angles and so on. Look at him. Pull the gap on the exit. Yeah, Victor, yeah, it can be transferred, but will it be in sufficient time? He's going wide? Ah, I'm going wide. That was super weird lockup. I wonder if that was due to dirty air or something. I was very cautious on the brake pedal. But maybe it's because of overheating. Yeah, Marvin, I can understand that, and well, sim racing is kind of exhausting too. Like, depends in what way you approach it, but my setup and like the way I have FFB and everything, it's kind of a workout, but it's not just a workout, it's also mental work. So it's sometimes, I mean, it's not easy to get arrested from doing it. It's not just, I mean, it can be just fun races, but at least for me, it never can be just a fun race. There is always a little bit of that competition that also drains the motivation a bit. Yeah, okay. I'm skipping that one. I feel like I'm so much quicker, but I just cannot make a move because of his exits. Come on. The way he pulled that gap, it's just insane. But somehow the Ferrari in the previous round could battle against it. Yeah, on the road for 12 hours, then it's hard to be on virtual road as well. No traction. Now I got beached on the curb. Am I close enough for a good tow? I'm a lot more confident on the brakes into Indianapolis corner. But it would be a dangerous dive. Okay, unexpected, but I was mentally ready to receive a big bonk into the wall from the left side. And we were slow enough that it was the last lap in the end. Oh, I'm happy with that. As soon as I saw him running wide, I knew, well, I have to put my nose into the right side and then just either do a switchback, but it's not really a viable option to do a switchback there. It's just like too weird of a corner for that. Let's see. There. Replay. I had some good chances to overtake before, but I just skipped some of them because I thought I would get re-overtaken on the straight later, but in the end he just always had so good pull out of the corners. He kind of... not sure if that was kind of a bit of defending, but he left quite a lot of space on the left side. And then the tire gets overheated because it's wet on the dry surface. I mean, I don't know. I really went aggressive on him. Like here, I really like left minimum space possible. Very risky. But I'm trying to understand what he did there. He kind of almost gave up. But well, yeah. If he planned to be 100% safe from any crashes, then that was the sensible choice. I even had to downshift to not hit the wall. But I mean, for sure he didn't like let me through, like he was battling and he still like he's tried to have a look on me. Alright, well, that was some fun racing. So I hope it was enjoyable for you guys to watch. The schedule of today's stream was a bit messed up because well, I could not jump from one beginner to another beginner race or from one inter to another inter race because they messed up the schedule. Thank you, Dan, again for that, but no, it was alright still. this kind of weather and drying up, it's really good. But I really wanted to do that Spa Open race with Ferrari GT. But maybe another day. Oh look, there is a radar. But that's probably not Le Mans. It would be fun to figure out which... What location is this? But anyway, we quickly check... Wait. We quickly check the start. Because I think I killed somebody. Or somebody killed himself over me. Ah, the real road loading, nice. Yeah, it was wet like this everywhere. So... I mean... What am I supposed to do there? Yeah, he just rammed into me. I was ahead, he just went for it like I'm not there. Oh no. That was on me. It looks so bad, like from this POV it looks like a complete kill. So, how it looked from my side, I felt like I was getting squeezed and then I started to like slowly turn into that corner, but I think what I did there was like, I felt like I'm gonna get crashed at this point, so I straightened the wheel. Let's see the input. No, I turned right. That's on me, that's my bad. I thought... When driving, I thought he was about to turn on me and I'm gonna spin, so I just like straightened the wheel and braced for the impact. But there was actually so much gap that in fact I clipped his rear end. That was my misjudgment, I'm so sorry about that. It felt completely different from in car. Well, he has every right to protest me there. But then at the same time he kind of crashed me off there. And that's kind of bump to pass. You know what? Street justice. I returned way too harsh justice to him. But, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Gonna be cleaner next time. Yeah, I hope I showed the correct angles. Either way. Wait, the other overtake was just like... yeah, just outbraking him. And then he missed the apex and could not get a move on me. Didn't even take the toe. Alright then. Quick check on the DR and SR and then let's call it a night. I hoped I would get like 4 or 5 races, but I only got 3. Next time anyway. Rank breakdown. So good that it's immediately available. Alright. I've never lost so much SR in a day. Either way. Well, thank you guys for watching. I hope you still enjoyed it, regardless of some technical issues with the schedule. Let's see, I'm gonna do the VEC weekly at some point. Wait, which track is it? This week we have Bahrain. 100 minutes of Bahrain, hypercar and GTE. Should be fun. Need to figure out what car to take. Kind of want to do the Cadillac still, but maybe I'll take something else. There is just too much of Ferraris and Porsches all the time. Anyway, have a good night, guys. See you. Bye bye.